Okay, so I think you can hear me, right? Good. All right, perfect. So before getting started, just to make sure one last time, everybody has a ticket like this. We will be doing a raffle. Everybody has a ticket? If you don't have a ticket, you can go see Gabriela now, because I'm going to do the raffle in like 3 minutes. All right? Yes? Ticket? Go ahead. All right, perfect. Okay, so I've done, so in preparation for today, I have, there was a speaker earlier today who said we bring up our daughters to be perfectionists, right? I'm one of those, right? So I did a dry run of this talk to a startup community sometime mid-February, and then I had the opportunity to give a talk on mentoring at Kung Fu end of February. It's not the same talk as the Kung Fu, just to let you know. All right, so there's definitely an extra level of pressure for me today. Do you guys know what's the concept of a mystery shopper? Yeah? Yes? Yeah? Okay, so today I'm pioneering the concept of a mystery mentor. Yeah, I actually have my current mentor with me here today. I'm very grateful that he took the time to come and see me. He didn't come to see me at Kung Fu, so that's a difference already, okay? Okay, so everybody has tickets, yeah? Okay, I was just buying time. All right, so happy Women's Day. I was actually very surprised coming today here. I usually give these talks to large groups of men where if there is one or two ladies, I am extremely grateful. So I thought it would be the exact opposite today. I'll walk in and there's going to be all these ladies and hardly one or two men, okay? I'm actually very surprised to see how many men there are in this room. I was debating if they either got free tickets or they were forced by their girlfriends. And I think the answer is none. The reason why it's extremely important to have the men in the room is that you cannot advance the cause of women just with women talking among themselves. Right? So thank you very much for all the men in the room. Thank you. So yes, okay, I think that the choice of the date of the event, and congrats to everybody in the room. I am very honored to be associated with making history and being part of a first. Okay, so thanks a lot. As you probably know, the choice of the date, I assume, was around International Women's Day, which is March 8th. I am originally from Eastern Europe. March 8th was actually, just a little piece of trivia, was first celebrated in Russia in the 1800s under Lenin. Okay, just to let you know. So in Eastern Europe, growing up, it was a huge event. We didn't have St. Valentine's, but man, did we celebrate March 8th. So, and it's true, it's a true fact, right? So when I came over to Canada, it was like kind of was missing out on that. I was like, oh, that's too bad. Okay, let's do St. Valentine's. Okay, what do we know? But I'm really happy to see that it's actually catching up in other parts of the world. In communist countries and in Eastern Europe, in Russia and so on. So the topic of the equality of women and men in the workplace. It was not a conversation of my generation. It was not a conversation of my mom, not of my grandma. It was a conversation of my great-grandma. So women were, in theory, equal in the workplace. They were more than equal in the home, at home, right? But it's interesting to see how this discussion is coming back and how different parts of the world have reached different levels of maturity about having the conversation. And I wish all of us that we will talk about this long and strong enough that the conversation will be relevant for my daughter. She's 13. So we have like 10 years. Okay, so it's very good. Okay, so without further ado, I will start the raffle. I'm going to show you the contents. This is a courtesy of my employer, BMC Software. So I have 5 gift bags. I'm giving away a book, Lean In. This is probably the book currently in terms of women in the workplace in the technology field. Anybody know who this lady is? Yeah, okay, so it's Sheryl Sandberg. She's the Chief Operating Officer of Facebook. It's a very interesting read. And then, secondly, I'm giving away something else. And, nothing is, I'm a perfectionist, I told you, right? So, And I think it's I'm giving away business card holders. Why? Okay, why? Because women don't feel that they are worthy to have business cards. Yes? Do you have? A lot of you have? Yeah? Good for you if you do, okay? In my company, I have to force them, okay? Because they're like, oh, but I don't meet people, and why would I need one? And so it's a little bit the same topics that some of the other speakers talked. It's men feel that it's okay, it's fine, doesn't matter, okay? Women have to qualify to have business cards. So I hope that whoever gets this gift actually either has business cards already or will go ahead and get some. Okay, all right. Gabriela, thank you very much. Okay, so do you want to come help us, Annie, just to make this official? All right, so can read out. Yeah, okay, so the first number is 8385. I think up to here everybody has the same numbers. 957. Yeah, come along. Yeah. Okay. They can come here. All right. Number 2. Oops! Don't break them! Here we go. Okay, congrats. Okay, the second number is... All right, it's 932, the last 3 digits. 932. Okay, come along. All right, we're going to do the other number. Woo-hoo! Three more to go. All right. Third number, so last 3 digits, 968. Okay, congrats. There's 2 more left. Okay, you actually get the gift as well. All right, so the last one. All right, so, okay, so this is a change in number, so it's 8386013. Yeah, good. The color of the business card holder is a little bit flashy, but it's okay. All right, and the last one is 8385976. And we have a little winner. Yes, there we go. Thank you. All right. Okay, perfect. All right, so a little bit about myself. I don't have any code in my presentation, just to let you know, okay? I do have a panda, okay? Just saying. So I work for BMC Software. I am HR manager for Canada. This is the talk at Kung Fu 2 weeks ago. Thanks, Gabriela, again for joining. Why did I decide to talk about mentoring? I find that the value of this type of events is you get to, one, meet people. So I hope you've met as many people as possible today. There's still the happy hour and so you still have time. But secondly is to hear personal stories, okay? Because anything else you can learn, right? Anything else you can pick up a book, you can watch a video, you can hear a recording of a talk like this, you can learn, right? So the value is the personal journey of the speaker in front of you. And mentoring came into my life maybe 4 years ago. It came, to a certain extent, I would say the other way around, where I was a mentor first. Okay, so I've started mentoring around 4 years ago. I've accompanied formally so far 5 people. The program through which I mentor is that it's a program of the City of Montreal, and I mentor newcomers to Canada, professionals, in the search of their first job. Okay, so I've mentored 5 different people so far. But around a year ago, I was paired up myself to be mentored by someone else. So I got my own mentor. So once again, mentoring is a two-way street. Okay, I found that I had the legitimacy to be able to talk about it only after I went myself through the experience of being mentored, which was very difficult, I can tell you, in the sense that mentoring means that you open yourself to saying, I don't know everything. I need help. Show me. How do I do it? So it was, I would say, to be a mentor for me, it was very easy. I was there. They were coming. They were asking me questions. I had all the answers. It was so easy, right? It was very hard to be mentored, right? So I wanted to share that journey because also mentoring is what would make the difference, right? Mentoring is, and I've heard it, I've attended probably 3/4 of the talks today. In every single talk, I heard about how mentoring is important, right? So the talk is not going to be about how to find your own mentor, okay? And I'll explain to you a little bit why. It's about the process of mentoring, okay? Enough about myself. Okay, how about you? So anybody here in the room has a mentor currently, by raise of hands? Okay, all right. Okay, a couple. Anybody here in the room is mentoring someone else? Anybody else is a mentor? Okay, 2, 3, 4 people. Okay. Anybody in the room is looking for a mentor? Okay. You guys look around, and girls, right? Look around, okay? It could very easily be here, okay? And the reason, as I said, it was one of the comments I got when I did this talk in other contexts is, okay, but how do I find a mentor? I don't know. I'm in HR. I don't know. Figure it out, right? But in the sense that you need to find somebody, right? You need to go and think, but I'll explain you the process of how to think about it, okay? But I can't tell you exactly where to go and find it. Okay, I don't go to all the meetups and stuff because it's someone sidelined to my interests, right? But I'll explain the process to you. Okay, all right. Okay, so some basic assumptions. Absolutely not an exact science, okay? HR in general, it's not an exact science to start, okay? But this is not at all, as I said, I find that the value is sharing personal journeys, not a textbook. And this is from my mentor, which I salute again. Okay, so I was asking him, what should I tell them? What should I tell him? And he said, tell them this is not a recipe. Okay? This is, at the best, a menu. Okay? In the sense that what works for me, for my style, for my background, for so on, it's not going to work necessarily for anyone else in the room, right? So you have to look at it and say, okay, how can I replicate it in my own context? All right, so as I shared, my daughter is 13, so she's like, what are you doing there? And you're wearing your red boots. Felt like a red boots day. So I'm like, okay, I have to do this in a way that it's easily to understand, okay? Because you're like, a lot of the things that we learn, or at least that I learn, is like you start with a textbook, you start with something that you read, and it's so abstract, right? And then you have to bring it into your reality and make it a little bit more concrete. Okay, and I'm going to go fast because she's going to steal me a shine soon, okay? All right, anybody knows what this movie is? Yeah? Okay, good. Pay attention, because there's a trick question at the end. Anybody knows about this movie? All right? Okay, perfect. This? I actually, doing research for this talk, I realized that Gandalf is not the same one as Dumbledore. But know what this is? Yes? Right? Okay. I love this picture particularly, right? It's the reason why is they're doing something very physical. They're showing something, right? It's not in a book. Okay, so the question. Okay? Someone else touched upon this in a different context earlier. I could have easily put 5 more pairs of men. Easily, okay? I've asked this question to all the other audiences to which I've given the talk, and I'm like, I don't want to necessarily have a female pair, okay? We're talking about mainstream movies, right? Someone came with a movie, with a Chinese movie, okay? Someone told me about a Chinese movie. I'm like, okay, probably 10 to 15% of people would know who that is. Someone came to me with a French movie, and I'm like, it's not mainstream, okay? So, yeah, French from France, okay? So the absence sometimes talks by itself, okay? However, recently somebody gave me an example which I think it's fantastic. I have not watched the movie yet. It's a 2015 movie, okay? It talks about men and women, okay? It talks about age difference. It talks about a technology company. okay? And it talks about reverse mentoring as well, in the sense where she's the CEO of the company and he's a senior intern. Okay, so I'll let you go and watch, but it's at least it's starting to come out there. All right, so frequently used terms. Mentor is one of the words that we use, but in movies and pop culture and so on, there's others. So I just want to make the specificity, okay? I know that mainstream words mean other things for tech people sometimes, right? Like a Raspberry Pi. Yes? Okay. All right, so master is not master and slave, yes? It's master and student, just to let you know, okay? So mentor, master. The term in English is mentee. To me, it's like a mint with a T, but okay, I don't really like it. Mentoré is in French. Apprentice, I found that unfortunately the word was slaughtered by a presidential candidate, so can't use it anymore. Protégé has a certain nuance to it that it's, it's not necessarily that a mentor would favor a mentoree, okay? Sometimes quite the opposite, right? Sometimes, like if you think a little bit of the examples of the movies that I've given to you, sometimes they actually, you don't know if they love each other or if they hate each other. Okay, so I find then student, it's another good term as well. All right. Okay, so a little bit about mentoring. What is it? Okay, mentoring, it's a personal relationship. Okay, and I've been told people go into IT because they don't like to talk to people. Yes? And actually, when I went to the startup community, at the end, the guy came up to me and he said, Inda, but did you know there's a website? I post my questions on the website, and like work-related questions, and people answer back to me. I'm like, okay, that's good, but I actually reflected on it for a couple of days after that, and then I got back to him, and I'm like, it's not the same. It's not the same. It misses the emotional involvement of the mentor into your trajectory, into your journey. Okay, so what is it? It's learning through alternative means. Once again, the beautiful image of how they're doing martial arts movements, one next to the other. You can read as much as you want. You can watch videos and so on, but sometimes you just have to mimic someone else. Okay, and it's experience-based. It's really experience-based. And the mentoree is going through a transition. Okay, we had a talk on change management earlier. It's that, right? Happy people, as they say, have no history. Okay, so it's, when everything is going well, like, why challenge yourself, right? So that has to have that element. Sounds very cheesy. A mentoree finds focus and strengths and inner skills. And the mentor gives the mentoree some major gifts, such as the gift of time and attention, okay? And then feedback, right? Sometimes it's very hard to take. All right. I found I'm sorry I couldn't find, once again, female images, but I found this image that really talked to me, where the mentor doesn't bring anything extra, right? The mentor just helps structure what the mentoree already has in him. Mentoree is freaking out, okay? And then the mentor is like bringing that balance. Also, I would say that let me get to that. Okay, the value of a mentor is that they've seen tough times, and I think that spring is a very good time for me to be giving this talk, and then they know that there is a summer after, right? So it's just that knowledge of the fact that we're going to make it, right? It's okay, okay? There will be better days after you go through this change. All right, so why get a mentor? To provide a more strategic view of your career, in the sense that we're so going day by day that sometimes it's just good to pause and reflect and have somebody else look at you as if you're a project. To guide you through new professional experiences, once again, mentoring, I find, has the most value to both people involved when it's about a challenge, a defined journey, right? And to give you advice in confusing situations, right? Once again, just the fact that they reflect, and I love the quotes from the movies, because sometimes they're like, what are they talking about, right? Yoda, he doesn't even know English, right? But it's it's the value of those quotes, right? It's like the Delphi Oracle, that you have to take it and think about it in your own context, what they mean. Make you aware of your blind spots. It's very hard, right? Do we have blind spots? No. Weren't we brought up to be perfect? And this, to me, was the last one was probably for me the most challenging part of being a mentor, being mentored by someone else. The fact that I am a working mom, okay? I work in HR, so my focus is always on the others. I'm like, what? Waste an hour? Sit down and talk about myself? Okay, so that was probably one of the most challenging parts of it. But at the end of the day, why get a mentor? To accelerate your professional trajectory. Why be a mentor? And this is meant to be, once again, to accelerate your professional trajectory. Personal satisfaction from helping the others. It's the best way to learn. It's been probably 3 or 4 years that I give talks. It's my way to diet, right? When I have to do the slides, I probably lose 4 or 5 kilos, right, every time, so. Expand your horizons and meet people outside your regular circle. Absolutely so. Both in terms of my mentorees and my mentor, I've met people that most likely I would have never crossed paths with, right? And they enriched me in lots of ways. And then, yes, position yourself as a candidate for special projects or promotions. Yes, okay? I was telling you I will talk about process. When we do things, given that time is so limited, right? We should do things that are strategic, okay? That have some sort of a meaning to us, right? So in my choice of mentorees, I've always tried to choose people that, of course, I clicked with and I had a good chemistry and so on, but it's not just social, okay? It has to go beyond that, and we should be doing things for our own souls. We should be doing things for ourselves, right? So I had a set of criteria before I fall in love, in the sense that chemistry worked with one person. I had a certain set of criteria of who exactly I wanted to accompany at a certain moment in time. And that then, I brought it back into the workplace, right? So I was mentioning to you in the very beginning, I am country HR, so I support all the Canadian employees of BMC in Canada, but I also support the operations in Latin America because I've learned about the culture in Latin America by mentoring people from Latin America, right? So I've made it known in my company. So when it was kind of a natural choice, right, for my manager to say, you know what, help me out with this one, right? You know more about them than I know, right? Okay. This is very cheesy, but I tried it with male audiences, and they still worked, okay? I find that this summarizes a lot the why to do it, because to be very clear, right, usually for those of you who mentor, for those of you who are mentored, you don't get paid for that, right? Do you? The best that could happen is that it could be on company time, but you get no bonus, you get no other recognition. It's very keen to volunteering, right? So why do it? Because it's still intense and everything, right? And I really like this quote, okay? Being a mentor makes me feel young again, and you'll see later in the conversation that it's not about age. It's not going back in time and being 15 or 20 again. It's the question is re-experiencing the start, okay? Re-experiences the endless possibility, okay? The endless choice of starting something, okay? Of course, it's not always fun when you start, when you're a baby and you don't know how to walk. It's not that much fun, right? You have to fall a couple of times before you learn how to actually master the skill of walking. But that endless possibility, it's something that all of us as human beings, we want to go back to in a certain form. All right, so what does it take to be a mentor? And why do I address being a mentor first? Once again, it's my personal journey. I was a mentor before I was mentored by someone else. And secondly, because in life we should always give before we get, right? So sometimes the best way to get a mentor is to go out there and the best value from being mentored is to say, let me mentor myself someone else. And then I'll be ready to meet my mentor. Okay, so the prerequisite is, once again, we go back to the word master, but master in the sense of mastery, okay, is having reached a certain level of mastery in something, okay? It doesn't matter what, okay? I'll go back to the example with my daughter. She's currently taking the different classes to become a lifeguard. They have a mentoring system. She's 13, her mentor is probably 15, 16, okay? It's just that the mentor has reached the level of mastery of the skill sooner than she did, right? So it has nothing to do with age. You have to be kind and open to the others, right? And, you know, it's a skill, it's a muscle that we exercise. It can be learned, right? Like, it's in the sense that just to say I don't like people, it doesn't qualify. Or I like talking to machines, yeah, okay, fine, right? And then humble and available. And availability, it's not just about time in an agenda, okay? We make time for whatever we find really important at that certain moment in our lives. But it's also about mental space, right? In the sense that a mentor should have the mental space to actually think about the personal journey of the person that he's accompanying at that moment in time, right? So again, it's not a recipe. You're not going to deliver. It's not that you get this. You do this training and you become a mentor, and then you just deliver this recipe to anybody. You have to cater it from one person to the next. Yeah. Okay. All right. And then ability to eventually let go. Okay. As a mentor, once again, you're on a stage. This is very good, right? Okay, the lights, okay? Everybody's paying attention. Why let that go? It's so much fun, right? They have people that look up to you and think you're God on earth and, you know, can walk on water and everything. It's not about you. It's about the person that you accompany, right? So mentoring should be defined in time. Once again, there is no recipe. It's not that it takes 3 months or it takes 18 months or so. It's about milestones that the mentoree reaches, okay? But the mentor and the mentoree should both prepare to eventually let go. The challenge with that is that, okay, finally, all of a sudden, okay, you have somebody who cares about you, okay, professionally, right? Why let go, okay? And then I find that in my experiences, one of the fears was that, you know, I've said it before, you know, in order to be able to accompany somebody, you need to have chemistry. So you're getting along. You have so much in common with this person. And then if they're not going to be your mentor anymore, like, are they going to go out of your life? You're never going to see them again? Like, why would you voluntarily want to do that? And it's actually not that they have to go out of your life. I have some of the people that I've mentored that completely walked out of my life, okay? And I have some of the people that I've mentored that are still with me to this day. It's just that we redefined our relationship, okay? But mentoring is not for life, okay? It has to be defined in time. And as I said, age is not a criteria. Okay, so we talked about some of this. What are some of the conditions for success? Chemistry is the most important. Okay, in the sense, why? We make time for what we find important. If I can't really care for that person and I don't enjoy their company or they annoy me or so, I will reschedule our next meeting and I will cancel the other one. Okay, so there must be some sort of a connection. Okay, you know, I must be looking forward to that meeting. Yeah, commitment on both sides, okay? It's both the mentor has to be committed, but also the mentoree, okay? I give my mentorees one chance of showing non-commitment, okay? And then they're taking up someone's space, they can go and do other things if they're not committed. Define term, once again, you know, we have to eventually let go. Confidentiality in the sense that, you know, either if you do it in the workplace or in a professional setting and so on, you expect that the stuff that you're going to share is not going to be on LinkedIn the next day. Happens sometime, right? Okay, so, and then it has to be that safe zone where you can be fragile, right? Where you can try out stuff, where you can experiment, right? So if the confidentiality is not ensured, then you're like going to be like, you know what, once again, we were brought up to be perfect, like why bother? I'm just going to put up my shield and that's going to be the end of it. And then strategic choice, right? I'll show you another slide briefly, and you'll see a little bit of why. And it has to be fun, and you need to feel that it brings value on both ends, right? So I think this is something important to keep in mind. Okay, 2 more minutes. Yeah, okay, perfect. All right, so some of the logistics for success. And I had the comment on this, like, does it have to be so formal? It doesn't have to be formal. It's not a formal relationship, but in the sense that there must be some guidelines. It's not social. Okay, the point I want to make on this slide is that it's not purely a social experience. Okay, we're not just getting together to have drinks. Okay, that's called a happy hour. Okay, so agenda before every meeting. Okay, in terms of my own recipe, the way that I work with my mentorees and the way that I work with my mentor is that we probably meet, depending, we define our own rhythms. Every relationship is different. But let's say a couple of business days before, to my mentor, I would send an email and I would say, are we still on for Friday, let's say, and I'd like to talk about this and this and this. Okay, 4 bullet points, not a lot. Okay, but there is some structure to what we're talking. It's a valuable in exchange on all sides, and it also gives him time to think about, to reflect on the topic. Okay, same thing from my mentorees. I expect that they let me know what exactly they want to talk to me, right, so that I have time to think about it. I, as a mentor, I give assignments to my mentorees. Okay, once again, it's about experience-based, right? So I ask them to do certain things. I try to force them to go out of their comfort zone, and then I expect from them to come back and tell me that they've actually tried and what worked and didn't work. And then, as I said, rhythm is very important, to find your own rhythm. Like with my mentorees, I find that for me, it's easy if they come meet me in my office during my lunch break. It just fits much more naturally in my agenda. With my mentor, I will accommodate his schedule. Okay, so it's every relationship will be very different in terms of that. All right. Okay. Yes, I'm very visual, as you can say, right? So these are some of my mentorees over time. I can kind of figure out which one stayed in my life. So the reason why I wanted to bring this up is I have brought them with me in different occasions and events, and it was part of their assignments, okay? But it's also, Maguette is from Africa, Hoda was from Asia, and then Marina and Joao were from Latin America. That was my strategic choice, okay? I have asked to have people from different parts of the world so that without traveling, I would be able to know the culture of the places, right? It's important in my role, in my function that I have. And I also try to have people that had different jobs, okay? I didn't want to just accompany people in HR, okay? I wanted to, and then again, I didn't do a mining engineer. I went and I also had, as I work in IT, I wanted to accompany people in IT. I'm almost done. And yes, right, it's a two-way street, okay? I probably get as much or even more from mentoring than they get, okay? And this is my last but one slide, and it's not going to take long. I promised you I will have a panda. Here it is. Everybody knows who this is, okay? So I really, really like this image. Why? Because this is a completely impossible match, right? Like the mentor, Master Shifu, right? He was like, I cannot believe there must have been someone else. There's an error. He cannot be my mentoree, right? And then he's the savior of the kingdom, whatever. I would say there's the unusual matching. Okay, don't go for, once again, mentoring. It's all about going out of your comfort zone, okay? So if you're going to go and look for somebody who's very similar to you, you're going to be challenged to a certain extent, but not that much. So try the unusual matching. And on this. Thank you very much, okay? Thank you, everybody. Once again, we're making history today.
Thank you, Inda. We can take one question. The other room is waiting for you, so you can take your time and stay. Oh, one question.
Thank you for the presentation. It was very warming and learning session. I have a question. You give for IT managers, you used to give tasks. Can you elaborate a little bit? What are the tasks which you...
The assignments, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
For each meeting.
All right. Yeah,
Thank you.
okay, yeah. So, so once again, the way that I would accompany my mentorees was very defined, okay? Their challenges, they were newcomers to Canada, okay? And they were looking for their first professional job, okay? So they came to me after they worked with Centre Local d'Emploi and so on. So they had a certain level of maturity of the job market before they came to me. Okay, and then the moment for us to let go was very easy to be defined because it was the moment they would get their first job, right? Okay, so the assignments really varied from one person to the next, okay, but I'll give you a couple of examples on that. So for example, it depended on where they came in terms of their maturity level and their challenges, okay, but an example of an assignment would be for them to attend an event like this, okay, and it's actually interesting because you sometimes have to spell it out to people, okay? But it's on a Saturday. But you don't have anything else better to do, right? Or you shouldn't, right? It would be also one of my favorite challenges is I love LinkedIn as a tool of connecting and networking and so on. LinkedIn continues to be very North American centric, okay? So one of my initial challenges would be probably 2 weeks for you to get up to 500 connections. But I don't know people. Well, go to an event and meet people and so on. So this would be some of the examples, but I would always, and once again, it goes back to the idea of catering, right? Like I would always try to have the assignments, force them to experience something that they have not done, okay? And it would be catered to each individual. I hope it answers. Yeah? Okay. All right.
Thank you very much. So